Thank you. I would like to just start out by thanking the Coalition for involving the YMCA this year in their event. It's an honor for a community agency to be asked to join the new part of our community. And our Y is striving to try to do better things with our community, and this is something we're very honored to be able to host. Thank you. I'm going to be introducing the Honorable Jack M. Ciattarelli. That's the best quote. He's been very active, involved in many diversity-related activities, including serving on commission of the status of women, mental health board, park commission as an alternate, vocational and technical schools, local advisory council on alcoholism and drug abuse, and youth leadership Somerset. He's been in the public service since 1990 as a member of the Raritan Borough Council member and currently serves as Deputy Director of the Somerset County Board, chosen Freeholders. And thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Paul Ciattarelli.
It is a pleasure to be with you all tonight. And Tulsi, thank you so much, and congratulations for the great organization you have here. If Manhattan has the United Nations, CDC certainly has the United Communities. So congratulations again. Congratulations to the other award winners tonight, too. It is a privilege to be in your company. And certainly an honor to win this award. And certainly it wouldn't happen if I weren't a freeholder. And in terms of being a freeholder, it really is a privilege to serve this magnificent community. Of course, none of that would be possible without the sacrifices that my wife makes. So if you'll join me in thanking her for the sacrifices she makes. And make public service possible. Sitting here tonight brings to mind a very quick and small interaction I had with my father probably 30 to 35 years ago. And I remember the time I was coming home, I might have been 10 or 12 at the time. My father was a first-generation Italian. We grew up in Raritan. And another way, plus I'm hoping there'll be ravioli and Montblanc on the menu next year. But I remember coming home and said, you know, Dad, I'm learning about other countries of the world. And in French, there are Frenchmen. And in Italy, there are Italians. And in Germany, there are Germans. But here in America, there's a little bit of everything. Now, my father was a first-generation Italian who didn't graduate high school. He was not a sophisticated man. But what he said to me has stuck with me my whole life. What he said is, that's what can make us the greatest country in the world. And as I think back on that comment of how sophisticated it was for him to say that, and I think what was the most important word in that sentence to me is can. That's what can make us the greatest country in the world. But we have to work at it. We have to work at it because we're diverse. And certainly, there is greatness in the diversity of our community. And it's getting more diverse all the time. I want to share a couple statistics with you that brings home the point. For example, in Somerset County alone, Asian Americans, characterized by Chinese, Filipino, Korean, Japanese, and Asian Indian. In 1980, there were 2,600 people of this heritage in Somerset County. 20 years later, 25,000. Asian Indian, in 1980, 800. In 2000, over 10,000. Spanish and Hispanic origin, in 1980, 4,000. In the year 2000, almost 26,000, and certainly we have another census next year that will bring those statistics up, I think, all the more. So it is, I think, great that Somerset County is becoming all the more diverse all the time. And in the spirit of a lot of things that were said tonight, consistent with a lot of comments that were said tonight, after we had our fourth child, and they got on a little bit in their years, meaning they got into school, my wife going back to school for her degree, and I'll never forget it, her commencement exercise at the College of St. Elizabeth was an MD, PhD. And I don't remember her name, but I remember something she said that night. She said, it is a law of quantum physics that we are all related. Think about that for a second. That statement, along with my father's statement, keep running through my head tonight as I sit and experience this wonderful evening with everybody. And certainly, as we had all those folks come up in the community and talk about the traditions within their religions and their communities and their cultures. There's also a very American tradition that takes place this week, does it not? That commemorates the first Thanksgiving, where Indians and the Pilgrims at the time brought together their two cultures, and for one day it was one culture and one community. And that's what's critically important here in Somerset County. So with that in mind, Mr. Nelson, if it's okay, I would like to issue the Cultural Diversity Coalition a challenge. And that challenge is this. Pat Walsh and Peter Palmer and our other two colleagues on the Freeholder Board are very, very lucky to have about 25 different citizen committees that advise us on various issues in the community, whether it's energy, the Office on Aging, Veterans Affairs, the disabled. What we don't have is a formal advisory board that advises us on cultural diversity. And maybe, just maybe it's time to give consideration to a formal citizens board that goes beyond what the CDC does with respect to the coalition's efforts in the community to advise the Freeholder Board on issues that are important in our various communities. I hate to think that there are constituencies in Somerset County that are underserved. But I do know there are constituencies in Somerset County that are underrepresented. So in that sense, I think this board can do magnificent things in terms of advising Somerset County's Freeholder Board on issues that are important to the various communities within our great community. Thank you all very, very much for this honor. It's also thank you very much personally.